ISIS origin story. Origin. Andrea Tomaz was a citizen of Kandak who was notorious for fighting the corrupt regime of the country. After Black Adam took over control, she became at first a friend and later his wife and royal consort. He granted her superpowers so that she would serve alongside him in creating a new world order. The Silver Age origin of the character was somewhat different, as she was a school teacher that found a magical pendant that granted her powers when she said aloud, "Oh mighty Isis." The character presumably lived with the remainder of the Fawcett characters on Earth S. Creation. The character is one of the very few that appeared first on television and then was adapted for comics. She had appeared in later portions of the Shazam ISIS Hour on her own part of the series labeled The Secret of ISIS. She was subsequently transferred to the comics, where she first appeared in Shazam number 25 in 1976. Though eventually given her own series, she failed to maintain a significant fan following. The character reimagined sometime later for the year-long story arc 52, where she would be a consort of Black Adam and rule jointly over Kanak. Her first appearance here was in issue 3 as Adriana and in issue 12 as the superpowered Isis. Character evolution. For the purpose of the Silver Age version of the character, it and the modern version have no direct link. Although, as Crisis of Infinite Earth rebooted most characters in the DC universe, it would ostensibly be seen to apply to her as well. Thus, the character has two distinct periods of her existence. The Silver Age was plagued by the same problems as many other Silver Age characters, that being that the character development did not occur very often, and especially not for marginalized characters. The character in 52 also did not progress, but for reasons much closer to the needs of the plot of the series. As a person that reformed Black Adam, her behavior needed to be incorruptible, and it was as she taught him a great deal of compassion. She died the first time with the same mentality. Major story arcs. As the most characters of the Silver Age, that version of the character did not have any real story arcs of note. Even in her self-titled series, which ran only 9 issues, the most significant arc was the character partook in unquestionably 52. In this, she is first a dissenter in the way the people are treated. This brings her to the attention of the few ruler of Kanak, Black Adam. After discussing with her, he decides to help her find her missing brother, who has been kidnapped by the Intergang. Eventually, Isis and Adam decide to marry. During their marriage, a suicide bombing is stopped by Vic Sage and Renee Montoya, and the two become allies of the royal couple. The task of defending the country, along with creating of a new world order, occupies most of their time until their country is attacked by the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Isis and her brother are subsequently murdered, causing Black Adam to go on a murderous rampage. She also later plays a role in the arc of Countdown. Black Adam is still in love with her and seeks repeatedly to get her resurrected, but eventually becomes so obsessed that he doesn't realize that Felix Faust is manipulating him into helping to free him from the Fate Tower. As the two are eventually reunited, they travel to the Rock of Eternity, where they dispose Captain Marvel as the caretaker of the magical power. This brings them into conflict with the Justice Society of America. Although Isis is being consumed by her own madness as a result of her death, Shazam returns to and turns the two into statues as punishment for their actions. During the brightest day, her brother returns as the statues to Karnak, but is unable to change their condition. Osiris decides that he must kill in order that she can live again. But once she becomes back to life, she chastises him for doing so. Powers and abilities. The Silver Age version of the character got her powers from the Amulet of Hesapet. This granted her powers similar to the rest of the Marvel family, though an emphasis on the healing and fertility that is present in those powers, as those are the responsible for the ancient goddess. The modern version of the character has a connection with nature, and she can influence natural events. This means that she can use air to fly or allow things to grow at great rate. Occasionally, this power is beyond her control, as she cries over the fact that her brother would never walk again. It rained all over Connect. She can also summon natural phenomenon and use them as weapons, such as water blasts or walls of lava.